Okay, well, first I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. My name's Dave Lockett, PR Director for the UFC, and we'd first like to start off by thanking the city of Nashville and Bridgestone Arena for being tremendous hosts for what was a great fight night. Let's get a few orders of business out of the way first. The attendance was 7,539, 7,539. The gate was 454,551. That's 454,551. Fight of the night was Teixeira versus St. Preux. And performance of the night bonuses go to Marlon Vera and Amanda Nunes. They each get $50,000. Now we'll take any questions.
Let's start with Benil. Congrats on the win. Slightly strange circumstances there at the end. Obviously, you heard the crowd reaction, so I wonder if you could just kind of talk us through what you're thinking as the scores are being read off and kind of how you saw things going.
You know, the first round, I thought he won the first round because of the knockdown. It was going well the first round. I was landing my my jabs a lot, but when he knocked me down, I was like, okay, he got the first round. Second round was much closer. And when I went back to my corner, Master Rafael said it could go either way. So, and then the third round, I feel like I just outlanded him. So when we got to the judge's decision, and they said split decision, it could have gone either way, and I would have understood. And I'm just happy I got the win.
Obviously, this gives you 5 in a row now, a ton of momentum. Because of the way it ended, does that kind of take a little bit of pep out of your step, or do you just let it be what it is?
I guess let it be what it is, but I'm happy. You know, every time I get to step into the octagon, it's really nice. This is my third fight in like 5 months, I think. Mm-hmm. So, and 7th in 19. I just want to keep doing this so I can keep getting better, and then, you know, eventually work my way towards gold.
And obviously, I'll go to you, Michael. Obviously, not the way you saw it ending. We saw your displeasure as you walked past press row. Can you kind of talk us through what was going through your head as you hear it's going to be a split decision for starters?
You know, I kind of noticed that he got it. You know, I kind of saw like the confusion, you know, Bruce Buffer's face and everybody. I think, you know, I thought I had it won, but at the same time, you know, it was up and down. You know, I definitely thought I pushed the pace a lot more the whole fight, and I stuffed every one of his takedowns, and I think I landed more. So I don't see how they could have gave him the win. Not taking anything away from Benil. You know, he fought a very good fight, but at the same time, I controlled the whole fight, and, you know, it is what it is. That's why you don't leave anything to the judges, but, you know, I'm going to take, you know, a few days rest and get back in the gym, and I hope to get back in the cage pretty soon.
You appear calmer now than you did as you walked past press row, and when it pretty clearly seemed like it was anger.
Yeah, I'm a little cooler now. You know, it's a little frustration, and I apologize for the way I reacted, but you know how it is. I set out to get in there and get a job well done and, you know, get my goal up to a title shot, and this kind of, you know, stops that. And, you know, so I just got to get back in there. But I'm a little cooler now, and, you know, it is what it is.
Okay, if I could move to Amanda. Obviously, congratulations. Huge win for you. Talk us through a little bit about where you see yourself now in the title picture, because there's, you know, a lot of discussion about there's not a ton of people left for Ronda to fight, but where do you put yourself?
I'm close now, you know. Let's see, now she have fight coming up. Let's see if I have to fight. I have one more fight, you know, I take it. You know, whatever happen, I'm going to be ready.
How do you feel like your skill set matches up with her?
Say it again, please.
How do you feel like your skills in the cage matches up against somebody like Ronda?
You know, I keep it getting better, and I have a pretty good strike. You know, my background is jiu-jitsu, and I train judo my whole life too. But I think it's gonna be a very good match because I have like my background in judo, in jiu-jitsu, like Ronda, and she now, you know, better in strike. That's why it's gonna be good, you know.
If I could go to the Tennessee fellows over here. Congrats, guys. Talk us through what it's like to kind of to walk out here in Nashville, to hear the pop of the crowd, and what that does for you walk into the cage.
Were you sitting out there when we walked out? You know, that's what it does for us. I feel like we got some of the loudest cheers the entire night, and we're low on the card. You know what I mean? So to come out here and get that kind of love from Nashville and our hometown is it's a blessing. You know, beyond your dreams. You know, a lot of people just they really, really, really want the UFC to go to their city, go to their hometown, and it never happens for a lot of people. So to be able to experience that, it was huge.
It was an absolute dream, you know, for me especially. I'm brand new, so I've been to some undercards now, and the first fight, there's barely any people in the arena. So to walk out and to hear that reception and you know, for everybody to welcome me like that was a dream for sure. And you know, I definitely didn't expect it, but you know, I used the energy and I fed off of it, and man, it was great.
Question for Amanda. You told me on Thursday that you didn't want to talk your way into a title fight. You wanted to show why you deserved it. How much do you feel like you did show finishing Sarah McMahon the way you did tonight?
Sarah McMahon is pretty tough, you know, and I finished her today, the first round, and I think I deserve, you know, maybe the title shot, or someone can make me like more close, and that's all.
Do you feel like, you know, in this day and age of, you know, the Conor McGregors and what Betch Correia did, do you feel like you have to be a little more vocal if you want to fight Ronda, that you're going to, you know, maybe have to talk a little bit more about her, or do you feel like your performance should earn you the shot?
Yeah, I don't need to talk. I'm going to show. I'm going to step in the cage. I'm going to, you know, do my things, and I'm going to, my next fight is going to be like this. We're going to win more bonus and knock people out. So for sure, I'm going to have, you know, my title shot soon, you know.
I know I said I would ask you this exact question after the fight. You said very honestly, with, you know, Ronda fighting Misha, you would probably have to fight again. And I asked you, what about Kat Zingano? Is that still a fight that would interest you after this one?
No, it take Kat, Alexis Davis. I have a lot of girls in top 5. You know, take.
And a question for Michael Johnson. You know, when you go out there, and obviously, you know, you've had a couple of decisions in this run, but you're very dominant. And it felt like that in a lot of ways tonight as well. Does that change your perspective? I know it's kind of fresh, but I mean, does that change your perspective? Because I know some guys you feel like you almost have to change the way you fight, when maybe you shouldn't have to change the way you fight just because 3 guys say you lost.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll never change the way I fight. I feel like I push the pace every second of the fight, and that's what I did tonight. So it doesn't change my perspective at all. It just I'll try not to get on the card where these judges are judging, I guess. But, you know, I can't control that. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Beneil, but I'll still be the same Michael Johnson every time I step inside octagon, no matter what.
I know a lot of times with controversial decisions, you do get a lot of people on your side also. You know, Dana and the other people, you know, try not to treat it like a loss, because obviously most people felt like you win. I mean, do you feel like this is really a step back? I mean, technically it's a loss, but considering most people are saying you won, I mean, do you feel like you still deserve maybe that, you know, if Benson Henderson was to stay at lightweight, or another one of those top 5 guys, to prove, you know, that maybe you should still be in that title shot conversation?
I definitely think I deserve a big fight after this. Everybody knows that, you know, I won that fight. You know, there's no way I could have lost, you know, but, you know, it is what it is, like I said. But at the same time, I'm at the top of this division. Everybody knows the way I fight, and I'm going to compete and challenge anybody I step in there. So hopefully, you know, something good comes from this. If not, you know, I'm still in the gym working, and, you know, I just got to keep going. But as far as the step back, it absolutely is, because it is a loss in my record. So I just got to redeem myself.
And a question for Beneil. You know, none of this is your fault. You know, you're not the one controlling the judges, but obviously this is, you know, on paper, you know, a win over a top 5 fighter. Do you still feel like you still have to prove something, though, because of the decision, because of the controversy, that, you want another matchup against another, another top 5 guy to kind of solidify yourself? Because, there was a lot of controversy with this one.
Yeah, well, the decision was close and everything, but what's good about it for me is this. Now that I'm ranked, now that I'm going to be ranked probably in the top 10 after this win, I don't have to call anybody out. Everybody's going to be calling me out. 1, I'm top 10. 2, I'm very close with Rafael dos Anjos. So if you think about it, I'm the fastest way to a title shot. You'll get the UFC's attention. You'll get Rafa's attention. It's a win-win for every guy in the lightweight division. So if I was a lightweight, I'd be calling my manager to call Dana or to call Joe to call me out. And I like to fight, so more fights for me, even better.
And last question, you have a big smile on your face. Seems like you're happy about that. Seems like you're ready to be, kind of I don't want to say gatekeeper is the wrong word, but, if somebody wants to get to your teammate, they're going to go through you.
Yeah, that's exciting. And like I said, I like this job. I like fighting, man. I'm getting better every time I fight. It's what would I complain about? And I don't have to call anybody out. They're going to be calling me out. That's the best part.
A question for Beneil as well. Can you talk about what's your goal now? You've mentioned not wanting to fight Dos Anjos, but are you just happy to be the gatekeeper, or is there something ahead of that you're shooting for?
No, I want to be champion. And we've talked about this. Master Rafael Cordero, Rafael dos Anjos, and I, we've sat down before, and we've talked like this. We're going to keep fighting, see where I stand. If the UFC starts pushing me to fight Rafa, then we'll move to, I'll either move to 170, or Rafa said he would want to move to 170. So it just depends on where we're at in our career. So we'll make that decision when we get there, but there's no, I'm not looking to be a gatekeeper. I want to be a champion. Whether at 170 or 155, I don't care.
Okay, some questions for Scott. You were throwing huge punches in all 3 rounds, and it looked like you had your opponent rocked a couple of times. Was it frustrating not to get the knockout, and still being able to get the finish, your first finish in a couple of fights, in front of your people? What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was a little frustrating. I felt like obviously I had his back on the ropes, you could say, and I got a little caught up in the bonus. I won't lie about that. The thought of being able to be comfortable financially for a little bit crept in, so I started really taking some risks and really overextending. But I wanted to finish him on the feet, so I was disappointed. But I decided to go ahead and try and put the whole game on him. Let's see what he had on the ground. Went there, and it worked out in my favor. So, I'm decent everywhere. So, just wanted to give myself the best chance to win possible. I got the finish, so I'm happy.
Okay. And everything was new for you. You said that a couple of times, that you went from fighting in rodeo barns and high school gyms to now fighting for the biggest promotion in MMA. So from media workouts to the weigh-ins to the fight, what has been the best part of this for you?
The best part has just been the experience, man. Overall, is just being a part of it. I realize I'm 8-0 now. I'm still brand new to the sport, but to come in and do the media workouts and be a part of some of the stuff that a guy like myself wouldn't normally be if the fights weren't near my hometown is special. I took it in, but I take it in stride. I know next time I won't be a part of that. It's a lot of it's because it's in my hometown, and I'm happy to do that. I've been fighting around here for a while, so. I was happy I could put some butts in the seat early, and I could deliver for the UFC early. I thought the pop in the crowd for the first fight was great, and I fed off that energy, like I said, early. So for me to put some butts in the seats early, first fight was great.
Okay. And a last question for you. You mentioned wanting to cut the line at lightweight a little bit, and you are undefeated. You did get the finish. And so what's next for you? Are you going to relax and enjoy the win, or are you looking to get in the cage again as soon as possible?
No, I'm looking to get in the cage again. I'm obviously still young in my career, but I am looking to cut the line. But I still have a lot of work to do. I think showed in the fight tonight. I still have some work to do. So I'm right back in the gym. You know, I'm injury free. So going to get back to work, getting better, and next time I'm going to try to cut the line for sure. Next fight, I'm trying to get into the top 10.
Okay, and now a few questions for Dustin. So you haven't fought in almost 9 months, and now you got the fight in essentially, you know, your home city, and it was a good fight. It was your first finish in a couple of fights as well. So what was that like for you? You had a huge roaring crowd and everything, and you know, what was the finish like?
Yeah, it was good. It's good to be back in the winning column and in the finishing column as well. You know, I came out here in the UFC and I finished my first fight with the TKO. So to be able to come out here and do it again, it's definitely another step in the right path. So that's what I want to do. I want to be able to come out here and finish fights. And as soon as I got this fight and this notice here in Nashville, my phone just started blowing up. TKO, you know, ground and pound, old school, because that's how I used to finish fights, that or submission. So to come out here and do that for 3 rounds was awesome.
Okay, and in your Octagon interview, you said, "This is the start of my time, and I'm doing it here in Nashville." So you were supposed to fight Ian McCall, and if that fight happens, you have a really good chance of getting into the top 10 in the flyweight ranks. So how do you see the rest of 2015 going for you?
Like I said, it's my time. You know, I've made adjustments to be the next best thing. And McCall, you know, he had his chance, and unfortunately, he had to pull out of the fight. So I'm not gonna hold on to that McCall fight. You know, whoever. I just came off a loss to the number 2 guy. So the number 3 guy is sitting right there. I've had nothing but hard fights in this industry. So. Next step up is going to be whoever I'm going to be ready for him. So to say that the start of my time, we'll see the next fight.
Thank you.
Did we have another question?
Scott, just a quick one for you. You looked big for 155. I haven't seen you fight in person before, but you look big for 155. Is 170 something that you ever think about that's in your future? I know you right now, obviously, you made the weight. You fought at 155 in the UFC. You won impressively. So I'm sure it's not something you're thinking about in the near term, but is 170 something down the road for you?
No, absolutely not. Have you seen those guys?
I have.
Those guys are gigantic. No, that's some Benson Henderson stuff there. For me, 55 is not a problem, really. I don't consider myself a big 55. You know, when it comes to putting weight back on, as far as on the scale or standing next to some of the bigger guys in the division, I don't consider myself that, especially with the IV ban coming. I think I'll be okay. 170 is I'm pretty short, so those guys, they get big. So, no, not something I considered.
Okay. Guess as a compliment to you then that you looked that big.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Dave, do we have...
Okay, if we don't have any other questions right now, we're still waiting on the main event fighters, and they will be coming shortly. But are there any other questions for this group here? If not, we will let them go, and then we'll resume with the main event fighters as soon as they are ready. Okay, we'll let you guys go. And we'll resume again shortly, just a few minutes with Glover and Ovin St. Preux. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for your patience. We're going to get started again. For the benefit of the fighters, I do want to let them know that they both participated in the fight of the night, so they both Glover and Ovin do get $50,000 bonuses. Before we get started again, I also do want to thank the Tennessee Titans for coming out. We had about 50 players from the Tennessee Titans that came out to watch tonight's event, so there's a lot of local support down here in Nashville. Okay, we'll take any questions now.
Glover, congrats on the win. It seemed like your game plan was pretty set in stone, which was take OSP down and do your stuff on the top. Is that a fair assessment?
I just go go over there and the game plan was to pressure this guy, to pressure him and to keep grinding him and work my hands. I work a lot on my hands. I work a lot on my conditioning. I trained so hard for this fight, man. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I was like in the locker room, I was like, I have to pressure this guy for 5 rounds because I know he's a tough son of a gun, man. I know he hits hard and it's a very dangerous fighter to fight. And the game plan was to grind him either standing or see the open to go on the ground and just keep pushing him to the deep water.
You mentioned in the cage your back was the thing you said. You mentioned Daniel Cormier, but I wonder if you could talk about how much pressure you felt having 2 straight losses coming into tonight. I mean, it's a position you'd never been in before, and obviously having such a lengthy unbeaten streak before the Jones fight. How much pressure did you feel coming into tonight?
I don't put much pressure on myself because of that. Because I'm a strong mentally, man. Things happen. I'm not fighting. Pushovers over there. They give me this guy, and they give me my last fight, the pressure was to show what I'm capable to. Show the best that I can be, and not show up like I did at the last fight. I keep making excuses for the last fight, but the thing is the weight cut was horrible, man. I make that weight, and if it was any other guy, I'm the kind of guy, the old school. I just go over there and fight. I'm a fighter. I just keep. But the thing is, I believe that 50% of some fight I wouldn't fight in the situation that I was last fight. I was feeling was a bad feeling. The whole day of the recovering was a bad day. But what I say, I'm back because I trained so hard for this fight. I'm in the best shape of my life.
Question for Glover. Congrats again on the win. Coming into tonight, when the fight was first made, you were the favorite. And then as the fight got closer, OSP became the favorite. You became a bit of an underdog. Did you feel like you had something to prove to kind of remind people, that, you were 2 fights ago, you were the #1 contender, and yeah, you lost a fight. But, did you feel like you had something to prove in there tonight?
You always have something to prove. You go on over there, and I have a dream, man, is to be a champion, and my dream is not thrown into the water because, I have a little slack on, like I say, I told OSP today, he fought the best I ever been, and I'm not denying that. I'm in the best shape of my life, man. I feel better for this fight than ever. I was a little nervous going to this fight because, you see what happened over there. He got his moment, and anything can happen in a fight. And this situation that that I was is get a little nervous because I'm in the best shape of my life, and you get to that point. I'm in better shape now that that I was for Jones fight. And Jones fight I was pretty good shape. And you always have something to prove.
Where do you feel like you fit in right now? Because, Ovens was, maybe the best prospect, in the division coming in. And you got Rashad fighting Bader coming up, and obviously Cormier's fighting Gustafsson. Where do you feel like this win puts you? Are you hoping to – I assume you feel like you're maybe a fight away from a title shot. Now that Cormier's champion, it kind of opens things up.
Yeah, I'm right there. You mentioned with the division the way it is right now, you're gonna mention the top contenders. You're gonna have to mention my name. You know what I mean? It's like that. I'm there and see what the organization do, and man. I just prepare and do whatever. Show my best every time.
And a question for OSP. Obviously, this week was so much on you. Home state fight. The crowd was on your side. Now that it's all said and done, was there any moment of the pressure? Did it ever kind of mount up on you at all in this week and this leading up to the fight?
To be honest, with certain fights like this, especially it being in the state of Tennessee, I've been here since 2001, played football at University of Tennessee. So it was a lot of pressure. But, you know, I thrive off of pressure and stuff. I felt good coming to the fight. There's certain times during the fight, like you said, I could have capitalized on it. But kind of caught myself getting a little carried away and stuff. But, you know, at the same time, you know, Glover, he's ranked number 4 for a reason. You know, he's ahead of me. He's ranked number 4 for a reason. So he definitely went out there, proved that he was definitely a top contender. But at the same time, I'm not done by far at all. You know, I still, you know, I tell people, like, people don't realize how new I am to this game. You know, when I came into this game, I didn't know anything. And, you know, for me to be able to make it as far as I can, as far as I did, to me, that's pretty good. And I think I still could make him far. So, you know, told my trainer, he's just like, hey, look, you're going to have to get on me a lot more. So that's what he's going to do. So my next fight is going to be incredible. I'm going to tell you that much. It's going to be incredible.
Everyone after the fight, of course, is going to point to the takedowns. You know, that was the big difference in the fight. You know, we saw the Ryan Bader fight. You know, he approached it the same way. But then you beat Pat Cummins, who's an NCAA All-American. So I don't think people can say you haven't practiced your wrestling. Did what Glover do surprise you at all, that he had that game plan? Or kind of walk us through that part of the fight? Because you fought wrestlers and beat wrestlers, so I don't think, you know, people are going to say takedown defense. But, I mean, you just came off a win over Pat Cummins, who's an incredible wrestler.
Not necessarily. I mean, I knew he was good with takedowns and stuff. I knew he had hard hands and stuff. But at the same time, there were certain times I just put myself in different awkward situations. I could have capitalized in a couple of situations. I was being overly aggressive. You know, I was just putting myself in. I was just like overly committed to my punches. So if I would have stuck back there and just kind of stuck and moved, I would have been perfectly fine. But, you know, things happen. You know, I know what I need to work on. I'm going to watch the film again and just get better.
Okay. Question for Glover. In the first round, it was arguably the best round of any fight the entire night. And you guys each had your moments. It looked like you had been rocked there a little bit. And the crowd started going wild. How are you feeling throughout the first round? And was there ever a moment where you felt like, okay, yeah, I am rocked and I gotta rebound hard?
I mean, I got a hard body shot, man. You know, my body still hurt. You know, my liver is still hurt right now. So, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I think I sleep over there, and you know, he capitalized in a couple punches, and you know, he rocked me a little bit. I'm not gonna deny that. I mean, but the thing is, like, I was in a fight the whole time. I grabbed his leg, and I was like, yeah, man, I gotta grab this guy over here. But I know he got some good elbows in the side over there, so I was just trying to move, you know, grab his leg, try to move, and you know, one of those things, man. I knew this guy wasn't gonna be a joke, you know. Fanelli there was keep telling me all the time how dangerous this guy is, and he's telling me I was getting sick already, man. My coach is telling me how dangerous this guy is. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. It's not my first time, but you know, he was right, you know. He was right. This guy is no joke. I mean, you see what happened over there, but. You just keep going on, man. You know, you got to be prepared for everything.
And Ovens, so you don't, at least in your recent fights, you don't tend to get hit a lot. And I could see that you had a cut. I can't remember the last time you had a cut in a fight.
Never.
Yeah. So in the first round, it looked like it was going to go much the way of your last two fights, and it was going to be a first-round finish. And then that didn't happen. How did the fight play out in your eyes, and what were your best moments and what were the worst moments for you?
I knew I hurt him with the leg kick. That's why I kind of went after him. But at the same time, it's just like, it's one of them things where when I hurt him, I just automatically think finish. Because, you know, Glover's the type of guy, he's just, you know, if you keep, like I said, he's durable. So one shot is not going to put him away. And I knew that. So I tried to jump on him right away. And like I said, there was times I overcommit myself and put myself in awkward situations. But to be honest, he did what he needed to do. He said, you know, he grabbed the leg and snagged me, put me on the ground, and I had to work my way back up. There was a couple times, you know, he had me, I had to work my way back up. but caught me with a couple good elbows and stuff. So actually, this is my first time ever being cut in the fight. So so yeah, I was like, yeah, I can actually say Glover is the first guy to ever cut me.
Okay. And then. And then also the response to having the crowd behind you, Scott, Dustin, you, the Tennessee fighters, you guys had huge responses to the point where you got huge applause and your opponents got huge boos. The decision to walk out to Rocky Top and to really utilize that Tennessee spirit, how did that come about and what was it like for you?
That decision right there was a no-brainer. You know, I'm in the state of Tennessee. You know, I played football at University of Tennessee. So, you know, just Rocky Top was just a song to come out to. And, you know, it was just to get the crowd off of that. Like, I was actually, you know, feeding off of that myself. And I think that's why I came out in the first round so relentless and stuff. So, you know, that decision was incredible. You know, as for the other guys, you know, Scott did a great job. Dustin did a great job. So, you know, I ended up doing an okay job. I didn't get to win, but, you know, at least I put on a show. And that's what I do, is try to put on shows.
Kind of a follow-up to that, was a strong start part of your strategy going into the fight, or was that kind of a product of the environment?
A product of the environment. You know, I definitely tried to get a feel for it. I knew he was going to actually walk towards me, and I told myself I have to land a shot first. And, you know, I landed the shot first, and I thought I was able to finish him, but overcommitted myself. Man, put myself in awkward situations, and he capitalized on that very well. But yeah, I just wanted to have a feel for it.
Any more questions? All right. Well, thank everyone for coming, and good night.
Thank you.